This is the third part and the final part of the trailing edge flaps indicator. So this is the block diagram of one channel. So the sensor is on the left here. It is a resolver. And you have another resolver which is linked to the needle here. The stator of both resolvers are connected together, and the voltage from the rotor is synchronously detected using this switch. Is amplified and drives the motor in one direction or in another one. The goal of this thing is to keep this voltage at 0 volt. That means that the angle of this resolver is identical to this one. So actually this resolver makes a copy of the angle of this resolver here, which is a transducer. So this is the setup for the measurement. I use this resolver here. I have connected 26 volt on the secondary of this transformer. I will turn on the power. You can see that the needle follows the position of the transducer. So this is the schematics of one of the board which drives the motor. So this was explained in my previous video. I have just added the input here, which comes from the rotor of the resolver which is inside the instrument. The reference signal of the synchronous detector comes from the secondary of the transformer here. I made the reverse engineering of the third board of this instrument, which is this one here. Actually, this board is quite complicated. So first we have the power supplies here, which generates plus and minus 5 volt, and also 24 volts for the coil of the relay, and also for the bulb. For one bulb, which is normally this one, and this one is activated the same time than the relay. You can see that the command signal is the same for the relay and for this bulb. And in order to activate the relay or the bulb, you have 4 possibilities. And these possibilities depends on the 3 inputs which are available on the rear of the instrument in the circular connector. So there are different things. So I don't understand exactly the purpose of all these things, but we can see, for example, on the bottom of this page here. So you have a second bulb, which is this one here. It is written LE-EXT. So it is maybe for leading edge extended, but I'm not sure. If someone has an idea, please leave a comment. I'm not an expert in aircraft. So in this case, you can see that we have here an astable. This generates a rectangular waveform, because you have a diode here which gives a different time on and off. And this drives this bulb. Normally, if we connect this input to a positive power supply, this should make blinking this bulb LE-EXT here. Otherwise, you can see that there is another path in order to turn on this indicator, is this signal here. So if this signal is at high level, this one, so this permits also to activate this bulb, but without blinking. So I don't know the purpose of this bulb. And here we have also what it seems to be a pulse generation here. So it is maybe to activate the relay during just a given time, 1 second or something like that, because we can see that we have high values here, 8 megohms and probably 2 microfarad here. So depending on the combination of the inputs, you can have different behavior of the relays and also on the bulb here. So I don't know exactly the purpose of all these things. If someone has an idea, please leave a comment also. And we have another thing here. So this is also strange. We have two small transformers here. We have seen last time the transformers, I don't know if you can see, are these small transformers here. We'll make a zoom on it. This one and this one. And actually, these transformers are connected to one transducer, but only one. So there is a kind of compensation here. I don't understand exactly what is the purpose also of this thing, but you can see that it is a synchronous detection, because the base of this transistor is connected to a reference signal, which comes from this secondary. So at this point, we have a DC signal. So we have a diode here, and this signal is compared to the ground more or less with a small hysteresis here. And the output of this comparator goes to this NOR gate, to this NOR gate here, in order to generate a pulse which will be fed to this NOR gate also, and to activate or not this thing. I don't know the purpose of this thing because it is connected to only one transducer. So I don't know exactly, but maybe we can test something. Anyway, we can first try to apply a DC voltage, for example, here, to see if this annunciator is blinking or not. So this is terminal number 12. So let's see, I will connect the wire to this. Okay, let's turn on the power supply. Okay, so I have connected the power supply to this line here. So I will turn on this power supply. I set the voltage to 10 volt. Nothing happens. Yes, I forgot to connect the positive. It is the same. If I don't know the threshold of this thing, this should be connected to 5 volts, so normally it is from 0 to 5 volt. But we have an input divider also here. I will try to increase the voltage. Ah yes, okay, we can see effectively this is blinking. You can, excuse me, you cannot see with the camera. I will change the orientation. So you can see that the LEX is blinking now. So it is what was expected. But it is a very dim. Yeah, because it depends also on the power supply. Yes, because actually the bulb here is connected to this OR gate here. So the intensity of this annunciator depends on the voltage applied to this terminal. So here I have 20 volts, so I think it's maybe 26 volts or something like that. I will use another power supply, and I will increase the voltage. Okay, so here I have 24 volts. I will increase a little bit. Okay, 28, I think it's the perfect voltage. So this is correct, it corresponds to the schematics. So here I have applied 28 volts here, so this activates this NPN transistor, which in turn activates this PNP transistor. So this supplies this op-amp, which is used as a comparator. It's a 7 741. This generate a rectangular waveform here, which activates the bulb. And so normally, if we do the same for this terminal here, which is terminal 14, we should have the same, but this annunciator will turn on without blinking. So let's see. Okay, so we can see effectively that this annunciator, this annunciator is on. We can try to change the position of the transducer in order to see. We do the same. I forgot to do this with the other terminal. So I don't know the goal of this relay, because it can be activated depending on these two inputs here, but both should be connected to a positive power supply in order to activate this gate. So this is the first possibility. The second possibility, so we have a AND gate, so it is to have a high level here, that is to say a high level at this terminal. It is the case currently. And we need also a voltage here. This voltage comes from this comparator, which depends on the voltage across this thing. So I don't know the purpose of this. It is activated now. Maybe we can try to measure the voltage across this capacitor, because I think that there is a long time constant due to this timer here. And this can be difficult to analyze, but if we can sense the voltage as the input or at the output here, we can have a better idea of the behavior of this circuit. This can be difficult because of the conformal coating of this board. I think I will need to solder something to some components in order to sense the voltages. So this board was a bit difficult to reverse. I think I will sense the voltage as the input of the comparator. Can be interesting to see the evolution of the signal depending on the position of the transducer. So I didn't report the reference of this part, so it will be a bit difficult. Okay, I have soldered one terminal here to this point, to the ground, in order to connect the probe of the oscilloscope. And let's see what we have at this point. So I will connect the oscilloscope. So this is the ground, and this is the signal. We turn on the power supply. Something is wrong. I think this makes a short circuit with the oscilloscope. Okay, you have 24 volt AC here. This was not expected. maybe I made the mistake concerning the pinout of the secondary of this transformer, probably. So this can explain. Yes, okay, so it was reversed. Okay. But now we have a different behavior. Probably I am not in phase. I have maybe to permute two signals here. So here we have a DC signal, of course. So I don't know the behavior of this circuit and the goal of this one. Either this thing, the detection, or it seems that when the voltage anyway is above this limit, this should activate this temporization, which activates the relay. Okay, so I have connected the 28 volt input to this terminal 14. So this permits to avoid this temporization here. So you have a direct here, direct measurement of this signal, because this signal permits to open or close the relay directly. You have this AND gate, so this signal and this one here. So pin 14 is a high level, so this is a high level also here. So the output depends on this signal. You can see that in this case the relay and the bulb are activated when the level here is close to 0. That is to say that the transducer is close to 0 here. And it will reset when the voltage is above a given voltage. It depends on the hysteresis here. There is a small hysteresis, 1%. So this is maybe to indicate an error that the flaps are in this position, but and this works for only one transducer. This circuit is not provided for the other transducer on the left here. So I don't understand why there is something for the right transducer and not for the left one. If someone knows something, please leave a comment too. So that's all for this trailing edge flaps indicator. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.